I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Big Plains Water and Sewer Special Service District. Will you please stand, we'll pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call starting on my left.
Ross Gregerson, present.
Harold Merritt, present.
Jerry Jorgensen, present.
Artie Lisenby, present.
Very good. Welcome, Marty, wherever you happen to be.
Colorado.
Oh,
Good.
really?
First order is the consent agenda. The board meeting minutes, I have gone through those and don't have any problems with them. Everybody okay with them?
Yep.
That would be June 11th, 2020. You okay with those, Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The July 2020 expense report. Everybody all right with that?
I don't think it's changed much, has it?
I didn't see anything that jumped out.
No.
And then the July 2020 operational budget report, which is in the packet as well. I'll move that we accept the board meeting minutes and the expense report and the operational budget as presented to us in the packet.
Second.
Vote?
Aye.
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 Marty? Okay, thank you.
Yep, aye.
All right, Dale Harris has some family issues he had to attend to this evening, so I told him to certainly take care of those, and so we'll excuse him. Rod Mills is with us via Zoom, and there are a number of things he needs to address, so we'll just turn the time over to him and let him go where he thinks he would be best to start and do. We can, we have a number of things. We have the Canaan project and then the capital improvement, elaborating on that with the impact piece. So if you could start with the Canaan bid, we'll go from there.
Well, so thank you. I really do appreciate having the opportunity to still connect with you. Like Mayor Lisenby, I'm actually in Colorado today.
Is there a sale on marijuana or something?
Yeah. Fishing and marijuana, they go together.
I don't have the excuse
Brownie.
of fishing, so I guess I'll just have to leave the other possibilities to your imagination. So several things. Let me back up and start on just some engineering report stuff, and then we'll get into the two specific agenda listed items. We again have some good news on the water rights front. As you know, we've been fairly active in getting our paperwork caught up and so forth. We did get official notification that the water rights related to the Gooseberry subdivision have been recorded and are now part of our holdings. Of course, those are in the bank, so they have some constraints associated with them. But it's just wonderful to get that block of water in the bank, secure that water for both Big Plains and for the developer there. So that was really good news. Some other things on the water rights piece, we're we're actively working on segregating a number of our water rights. What that means is on several of the water rights that we currently hold, we share water rights with other entities. Canaan Springs is an example. There's several in the in the Cedar Point area that are shared water rights. We are going through the process of separating those out so that our water right specifically names us and is completely separate in terms of its use and its authorizations and so forth from any of the other folks. So we've got a handful of those that we're working through, but those seem to be moving through the process really nicely as well. So again, it'll just be good to just stay on track with those water rights and keeping those up to date and in the right locations. We are also taking steps to move new water rights into the recently improved Well 59 and also into the recently improved Cook Well. And so those will be showing up with those two wellheads as their points of diversion as well, which is just good water rights accounting, I think is what that's all about. So a lot of good news on that front. Then any questions on that at all?
Oh, I don't have any.
Okay, then let's just jump right over to the Canaan Springs. As I'm sure all of you know, we did receive and open bids for the Canaan Springs ECWAG rehabilitation project on Tuesday. We had 4 bidders. They were Feller Enterprises, Interstate Rock Products, All Star Excavating, and Progressive Contracting. The bids varied in value from $902,000 and some change down to the apparent low bidder, which was Progressive Contracting at $575,737.98. I have tabulated that bid to just make sure that the math is all correct and can say to the chairman and the board that that everything appears to be in order on that bid. They've completed all of the qualifying information that was part of the bidding portion of this contract. And I have had a conference call with the federal government folks who will be issuing this final authorization for us. We have some paperwork to go through. The way the project is separated out in the grant, the portion that is specifically set aside for the springs is their particular bid is over our original grant offering. So there will be an adjustment made there, and it will come in the form of a change order to the contract as we're issuing the contract to Progressive. But the other good news related to that is the federal government folks that I was on the phone with earlier today suggested that the other possible avenue is to just simply grant us a little bit more money on the spring redevelopment side. If that happens, of course, then that's really good news for us overall, and we'll cover those contracted expenses even more readily. So either way, we'll be issuing documentation to the federal government in the form of a recommendation of award. Part of that recommendation requires this board to hear this speech that I'm giving and pass a motion authorizing staff to issue a notice of award subject to the USDA RD approval for progressive contracting with their bid numbers as established and a change order, if necessary, to downgrade their bid quantities on the spring rehab portion of the project. So I know that I made that sound like a pretty lengthy motion, but I will need that documentation to send forward to the USDA folks. So any questions on that, or do I need to kind of rephrase sort of what we're looking for as a motion, or is there any further discussion?
Ron, I have a question. So this change is to bring in line their bid with what the amount of money that we're authorized or something. But what about when we physically get on site and might find something, then would that be another type of a change at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm anticipating the initial item in the bid schedule, and we will execute that item first without authorization for any of the other items as far as the construction management phase of the project. And that will be under our direction completely. Will be the exploration excavation work. That is funded at $20,000. And the low bidder has 111 hours as a unit price that is committed to that item. We don't have to spend that whole item, but initially we'll get the backhoe on site, and we will work to identify the location where the springs are coming out of the bedrock. And if we're able to successfully do that in the exploration phase of the project, there will be an additional change order that will modify the quantities of all of the other items associated with the spring development. And the likelihood of that occurring are, well, we won't know until they've actually dug it. But if it comes to, we are able to identify a very clean spring outsource, we will be able to avoid several of the unit priced items that are listed in the bid schedule, i.e. we will be able to reduce the cost of rehabilitating that spring. And I'm anticipating that just based on the unit prices and the numbers that we have. Even if we don't succeed in the exploration quite to that degree, I think we're still going to be in a position to be able to reduce the amount of gravel and impervious fabric and so forth on the project. Keep in mind also that we also have to fund a testing component out of these funds and also some fencing as part of this overall project, which we have elected to subcontract separately. So this bid amount is not the full cost, but it is the total amount that we're going to get out of the grant. So we have to manage the money fairly carefully all the way through this project. Quite similarly to how we did the original water project, we had to really keep a close eye on the expenditures and track that quite religiously, actually. So thank you for that question.
That's all I have.
Anything, Jerry?
No,
Marty, did you have any questions?
I didn't mean to there.
All right, thank you. I don't have any questions. I move that we, I don't even know if I can do this while I'm driving down the road. I was going to say, yeah, what he said. I move that we approve what Rod said.
Okay,
If you want to clean it up, one of you can do it. But
well, Ben is good at doing that, so I'll second that motion.
Okay,
We should probably have the council.
Why don't we have Ben kind of read off what he's got in the notes so that we can
Okay,
Yeah, because the wording on this is important as it relates to you're authorizing or you're accepting your engineer's recommendation to award the project to Progressive Contracting contingent upon the USDA's final approval.
Oh, could I do this? Could I motion that we affirm the recommendation of the engineer to accept the bid from PCI as explained to us?
And then subject to
So, yeah.
whose approval?
The USDA RD.
Subject to the USDA RD
Approval.
approval, yes. Okay, are we there?
Okay, I second.
Aye.
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 Okay, whatever, yeah. While we've got you on a roll here, Rod, could you elaborate a bit about the capital improvement and the impact fee? The town council felt that they needed a little more information on that before they moved on it. So could you share something with us on that?
Yeah, so they requested some additional scoping documentation, which I will submit. But I will also let you know that I have submitted the document to Zion's Public Finance for an initial review with the suggestion that they owe us as a district a proposal to do the formal review and in essence certify the validity in accordance with state code of the math and the contents of the document. Having said that, yeah, we won't completely finalize that until we get town council mayor approval. But I thought it would be expedient to take this additional step to get this to Zion's and start allowing them to at least look into it so that if there are any significant flaws in the work that we've completed so far, we can remedy those as part of the process as we move along.
Okay, so then the information will be forwarded to the town and so they can review this before they take it up again, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Would he be there, or would he need to be there, or no? At the town council?
Rod?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe perhaps we could schedule this at a time when you could be in town and answer any questions at the town council meeting that might pop up in the next, whenever they wish to address it.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I've tried to do that when there was something on the agenda that I felt like I could contribute to. So, and I was allowed to have some discussion with the council this last go around, and they were clear about what their expectations were, and I intend to follow their instructions and get the information into them post haste. I am taking this additional step because I just think it'll be helpful. So I'm waiting on Zion's for just a preliminary thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs neutral, or whatever, and then we'll get this information submitted for approval. And that information will include the scoping document and the capital facilities and impact fee study as a draft.
Okay. Thank you, Rod.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is that we are in need of a treasurer, and I've been advised by Ben Billingsley that we're hung out to dry here as far as signing checks and so on. So I would like to make the motion that Ross Gregerson be appointed as treasurer of the Big Plains Water and Sewer Special Service District Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second vote?
Aye.
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 Peer, would appear that we lost.
Lost.
Oh, we lost you.
lost him. Anyway, three
To
people
me.
who were here voted in the affirmative, so the motion carries. The next order of business, does anybody have anything they wish to discuss or go over, or any loose ends? If not, next order of business is adjournment. Do I have a
I'll
motion?
make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Aye.
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 Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Steps,
Thanks for everything
Uh,
you do, Rob.
Ross wants to place an order if you'd give him a call.
so I'm, subject to getting arrested on the border or whatever, he's a board member. So I'm looking to take really good care of him no matter what.